the fight.
And I do hope that Vengeful Spirit is played as a core. That would be amazing. I think it's one of the more underrated heroes that, I mean, the problem with her is, well, firstly, as a support, her range is god-awful. I think that's the biggest limiting factor for her. And overall, just, she's very level dependent, and you're not going to get levels of support.
Turn to pick.
Ogre and Pugna picked up by Sigma, so Ogre for Sigma instead of Alliance. And
it's double melee supports with a melee carry.
We're assuming Ogre is a support here. You never know in these games, obviously. And
so assuming Naga is a support, which could be an offlaner, but I feel like Sigma's picks right now are fairly obvious in that regard. I think the Pugna is great here, because Alliance, both Puck and Keeper of the Light, use quite a lot of mana in the fights, so the Nether Ward is going to be really useful. As far as the synergy with the rest of their lineup, Naga Siren can set the battlefield with Song of the Siren, so you can get in and use the Nether Ward in a perfect position. And then you can also follow up with Lifestealer and the stun from Ogre. So I definitely see where Sigma is going with these picks. The main concern for me is how well their lanes are going to go, because we know Sigma is a team that is heavily dependent on a good laning stage. I generally say that if this team is one that really drives on the early game momentum, so if the early game doesn't go their way, they tend to lose the games in the mid game because they draft very greedily in terms of, or rather not greedily, but very early game oriented in their lineups with heavy early game. But we saw the game against Rock's Kiss. I mean, they got completely crushed in the early game and still managed to come back. So we will allow them to come back that Rock's Kiss gave them in that game.
A Chaos Knight last pick from Alliance, which is something we haven't seen in a very long time. And Darkseer as well haven't seen in quite a while either, so lots of varying strategies here. I'm assuming, but I'm thinking about Alliance's lanes here. Could be 2 dual lanes, or it could be a tri-lane with a Puck in the off lane, which is definitely a possibility. Slark mid. I think they're a little bit open for flexibility. What do you think Sigma's lanes are going to be? Is that Naga going to be core? The Darkseer pick, I kind of feel iffy about that now. I'm pretty sure it's going to be support.
The weird thing for me about this is that Pass generally plays support and Miggle plays offlane, and Miggle is a good... So the fact that he's not playing the Darkseer could be hinting that they're planning something else with this Ogre Magi, and they might in fact... This sounds insane, but they might run a trial lane with Darkseer, Ogre, and Naga. That's what I'm seeing right now. Because it's double lockdown together with the Iron Shell against a hero, a lane with a melee carry. But I think they're going to regret it if they run that up against Alliance. But we're going to see. So, of course, as we said, this is the XMG Captain's Draft Invitational, mainly sponsored by XMG, which is why they are in the name of the tournament. And this is Alliance going up against Sigma International. The current prize pool is $37,000, 215. I believe you are showing that in the bottom right of the screen, so you can see that. The base prize pool is $20,000. We've had it increased almost to twice the total prize pool via the ticket sales. So, of course, a big thank you to everyone who's watching through Dota TV and has supported the tournament either to watch the games or because they like the courier that it's bundled with, which is super cute, or if they, if they just wanted to support overall. Thanks to you guys for being a part of this.
I have to mention that a lot of these tournaments are doing stretch goals, and we didn't really, since this is our first tournament, we didn't really think about that, to be perfectly honest. We weren't expecting this much support. We weren't sure exactly what to expect, to be perfectly honest, but I was thinking it would be fun to add a stretch goal if we if we hit 40k, which is doubling the prize pool. We'll go on stream. I guess this is kind of counterintuitive because buying the ticket means you're going to watch it in-game, but either way, I guess you have the VODs for it.
The battle
I will go on stream and show the official Dota Cinema kitties. What do you think about that, Synderen? They're super cute. Super cute. I have to also have to say before we get into this game, Neil was supposed to make a video on them like 2 months ago. So they're like...
He refused.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. He's just lazy. He hasn't even gotten to it. So eventually he will post that. But they have been in the family for quite some time now. Just saying. Okay.
Yeah, so they're actually the real boss of Dota Cinema, to be honest. It is the kittens that kind of run the show. All right, let's have a little bit of a look of... Oh, let me try that again. Let's have a little bit of a look at the lanes, as we have Sigma running a trial line up top. Miggle is going to play support on the Ogre Magi together with Mads, Naga Siren, and Sox on the Lifestealer. We're actually going really aggressively already. Ake here is going to get caught out. He has no escape here. Will do whatever damage he can. Nice Illuminate. Actually, Mads could be falling here. Will corner him here. Salve usage as well.
Well, EGF came to support as well. He's going to get a nice stun off on the lifestealer, not able to finish off Chaos Knight, but the Ogre Magi taking an Illuminate to the face. Looks like EGM will go down with one more right click, but nice blocking from Ake is going to keep him alive, at least for now. More back-end action as Ogre is trying to, well, he has a Fire Blast up and 2. That will be a kill on EGM if he's able to get it off. Not able to do so as Nakes is going to continue pressure on Ake, not able to get the kill. Good lord, this is so much action to start off. EGM is on the wrong side of the forest, will finally go down. It's a 2 for 2. What in God's name?
Crazy. What a crazy
Wait, this
start.
is a triple melee tri-lane, man. This is like pub strats right here.
This was a really odd engage. I think the initiation angle that Sigma Int got was what did it for them and gave them the first blood. Ake got a very good Illuminate off on all 3 targets, even though he was completely cornered, so he definitely did what he could under pressure. And it allowed Alliance to turn it around at the end and end up getting a 2 for 2 instead of just losing Ake, so well done to them. As far as the other lanes go, we have the mid lane, which is going to be the stand-in Funzi playing in the place of Fata. He will be playing the Pugna. And then in the bottom lane, we've got the Darkseer to be played by Pass.
Vengeful Spirit TP in top? Or was that just my imagination? Like, where was EGM at the beginning of that engagement?
Wasn't there right at the start, but he did come in? I'm actually not sure exactly.
But either way, that was the reason that they were able to end up trading in the end, because they were grossly mismatched in that 2v3, at least from the beginnings of that fight.
They did get the stun off from Venge pretty early on though, but you're right, they were lacking the 3-on-3 for a few seconds at least, and that kind of gave Sigma the upper hand in that lane. As for the other lanes, in the mid lane we've got S4 playing on Puck, as we mentioned earlier, and then we've got Admiral Bulldog, who has adapted the name Admiral Bulldong, which I'm a really big fan of. He will be playing the Slark in the bottom lane, which he's playing a melee hero against Darkseer, and that's never nice to do. It's always hard, and Pass is definitely winning the lane for now.
Once he hits 6, he'll be fine, obviously, but I guess the challenge is getting to that point. But with this tri-lane being so occupied, I guess he'll have better opportunity than most times against that Darkseer to pick up those levels, no problem. And really, I'm gonna be just... Oh god, I missed a kill! Looks like S4 got a kill on Pug. I'm not even sure how that's possible without having his ultimate, but it's S4 on Puck, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But what I was gonna say is I'm gonna be leaving the camera up here for the most part, because this is aggressive. It should be, at least.
This is the lane to watch right now, and as far as the farm goes, it's been favoring Sox on the lifestealer so far over Loda. He has twice the farm, and that mid lane kill was indeed really weird because Funzi and S4 were both level 4 when it happened, I think, and Funzi had an Invis rune, but he just got greedy and used it too late.
Full top, along with the stun from EGM and the Illuminate, it's just so much damage. They're able to layer that so nicely. Chaos Knight's kind of stuck, but no, a 3v2 situation in favor of Alliance. Are they going to be able to get another kill? Oh, nice open wounds. He's getting completely cockblocked by the creeps. Ends up... Oh, nice stun! Looks like Clay. I don't even know who that is. Is that Shotgun you're talking about? Yeah.
Soxka, yeah.
Triple kill for Ake? Are you kidding me? Impossible.
Yeah, so he turned around to throw the ensnare to allow Soxka to get a couple more hits on Loda, but that meant that he got hit by the Illuminate from Ake there at the back end of play, and Ake picking up that triple kill, it's not the ideal hero to get it on, obviously, but it means Ake is going to have the Tranquil Boots, and that allows him to play in a very different way on this lane. He can move a lot faster, doesn't need to worry about his HP dropping out because it regenerates really fast, so he might be starting to take harassment trades now with the other heroes, as long as he stays alive. And Loda, I think he got a little lucky there with his Stout Shield, or at least he was balancing the very low end of his hit point pool there to stay alive as bottom lane. Pass applying pressure to Bulldong, but now we've reached the point when Slark doesn't really care about the Iron Shells anymore, and that means Pass has built an advantage, but now he needs to be careful with ganks, because he can't keep Bulldog so low that he can't turn on him, ever. Bulldog is going to be full HP the whole time. If there's any hero ganking, actually maybe Bulldog's going to do it by himself, at least putting a bit of pressure here.
Real issue, Darkseer's out of mana. I'm assuming he has a Soul Ring. No, he has it.
That top mat could be in trouble here. Oh, it doesn't touch.
Can hit absolutely nothing, unfortunately, so they're not going to follow it up with anything. But you're right, Darkseer, or not Darkseer, Slark should be absolutely fine in this lane now. Darkseer is the one that has to be careful. He doesn't even have the Soul Rings in base, so the Courier being completely hogged. No pun intended, that is a hog, actually. Wow, that was perfect.
No.
It was not on purpose, but it worked out for the best, I suppose.
Loda's gonna catch out Mad in the wings.
Both 2-second stun, but there comes the counter initiation from Ogre, but the stun from Vengeful Spirit. What looks like such a long stun for her range, but either way, gets the kill. Nice open wounds. Cock blocking is being attempted by Loda. Illuminate will not hit anybody. It's gonna be a trade, 1-for-1 right now. Chaos Ball only 1 second, but more damage as a result. It's getting very low. 2 more auto attacks should do it, but they're not going to be in range for that, as Ogre is so tanky. That's the one benefit of having an Ogre on your team, despite being in melee, is so tanky. Illuminate isn't going to hit, only on Naga, and this could be turned around for Sigma. We're having TP support here. Lifestealer has open wounds in 1 second, not going to need it as the last hit onto Loda. So ends up being in Sigma's favor in the long run there.
Essentially, the TP from Funzy is a little bit wasted there. I wonder for you, whenever someone's getting blocked, do they ever not get cock blocked, or? Because, I mean, most people call it body block, but apparently you have a little bit of a different view on that.
But as Darkseer gets decimated in bottom lane.
That's what I was waiting for, basically, because it's such an easy setup. If anyone comes bottom to Bulldog, they basically have the kill. Now they're going to rotate Loda down here to get the farm on this lane, as they might have realized this top lane was not going the way they were hoping for. Loda has 14 CS at 7 minutes, which is very low compared to the 30 of Lifestealer. So they want Loda to come online, and what they can do now is they can rotate the Slark and the Chaos Knight, and Slark can just completely destroy this top lane. He's level 8, so he's a much stronger hero to have in the lane right now than level 5 Chaos Knight, and that is exactly what Alliance are going to do. They're just going to swap those 2 heroes around. Venge at the moment roaming a little bit, waiting for perhaps a setup in mid here on Funzy. Sigma will have to be careful here, but Alliance is definitely off to a good start. They're not leading by so much gold, to be honest. Only 750, but 2,000 on the experience.
They won mid, and they won their solo bot. Their tri-lane, I wouldn't say they've won as the ensnares can be popped, but here comes Slark. As you're talking about, such a high level, he's just going to pound away at Naga Siren. I don't believe there's anything that they can do. 1 more auto attack should do it. He's going to use his ultimate, just get a little bit of move speed, a little bit of harassing damage on Lifestealer. He's actually staying here. Wow, Lifestealer getting really greedy. Pops his infest, and I guess they're not able to do anything about this. Stuck in the range creep, which they won't be able to deny for quite some time. Bottom lane, Ogre and Darkseer. Perhaps gonna try to team. Did I miss another kill on Pugna? I'm just not catching any of your deaths. Thank you very much. Loda
now bottom
lane.
Loda is indeed in trouble here.
Chaos Bolt. Oh, nice swap from EGM. Doing some cock blocking, as I actually did quotes. You guys can't see me because I don't have a camera. Nice stun on Ogre Magi. That should be a dead Ogre Magi. 1 more last hit should do it, and it does. The aggression continues.
He's available, but Paz has a TP. Very easy escape here.
EGM is level 7. Doesn't have enough mana to swap, since he just did it, or even stun for that matter. But that's the one thing I wanted to talk about, is Vengeful Spirit is such a high level for support. And as I was talking at the beginning of the game, very level dependent hero. So I'm thinking that we're gonna be seeing a lot more aggression coming from Alliance as well. But are you surprised by the top lane being lost? I mean, not horribly, but being lost by Alliance, considering they're going against triple melee.
I think in total they still won it in terms of kills. They didn't win that much in gold up there because Loda didn't get so much farm, but I think they got the more favorable traits overall in kills. Let's see, Ake has been part of 6 kills, and correct me if I'm wrong, but all of those must have happened on the top lane. So Alliance have gathered 6 kills up here.
It's because Ake got all the kills, I guess.
So the Alliance have got 6 kills in the top lane against Sigma's 4. And that means, in my book, that's a 1 lane, unless if the carry in the lane gets horribly underfarmed. He did get underfarmed, but not enough to not win the lane, and that means effectively they've traded a bit of gold for a lot of experience, and that's what you can see on the graphs. They're ahead by 4k experience to only 2k gold, but the experience is more important, because that's what's given this Vengeful the level 7 right now, and that's just opening up the map for Alliance, as now Sochke is going to be in trouble here.
His Rage, Illuminate's not going to hit, but Vengeful Spirit has a swap if they need it. But we'll just wait for the Rage to pop out, as even S4 is here to save the day. The nice board is being placed by Pugna, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. It's actually Illusory Orb, and, no, I'm sorry, that was the ultimate for Pug getting another kill. Wow, this is just going to majorly favor Alliance. The TP support from Ogre isn't going to be enough. They're just dropping like flies, Sigma is. They're going to try to trade this bottom tier tower, but not a whole lot of pushing power right now. 14-4 Alliance.
Yeah, the timing from Sigma just isn't there. They're getting caught off everywhere. Alliance has the better rotations. Speaking of rotations, the only rotation we've seen from Sigma was the TP top from Pugna that did nothing, and the rotation from Ogre bottom that backfired. So essentially, their rotations have had a negative impact on their game so far. And now again, speaking of rotation, EGM is going to catch out Mad here. S4.
Or barely hits. Naga's going to get away just barely. S4 though, not going to be so lucky. It ends up being Finally a kill advantage for Sigma in one regard. Pugna not able to stop the TP from EGM, who is such a high level. I just can't stress this enough how high level he is. Or Vengeful Spirit. Keeper of the Light. Oh! Fire Blast not able to come out. The Fog of War just playing tricks on his face. Both their faces, since it is Ogre Magi after all.
That was a good move by Sigma. Not only do they get a 1 kill here, but they set up a push on the bottom lane where I think they're going to be able to claim this tower. Just Pugna is insanely good at this. As actually Bulldog is going to be in trouble here. Will just leap away.
Didn't have his ult, but yeah, they don't have any like real lockdowns. At least not right here without Ogre Magi. So able to get away, but do get the tier 1.
This is what Sigma needs to do. They need to find these kind of engagements where they outnumber Alliance by taking them by surprise, and then they take the tower. That's what Pugna does in the early game. And I think that 1 tower for now is okay, but they need more, because they're still behind by quite a bit of experience in particular, but they can at least make up for it by getting some gold on the map, so they still stand a fighting chance. S4 is level 11 on the puck, and the second highest level on the map is 9, so he's been doing a really good job. This game has the highest farm in the game by far as well, and is now even activating a DD rune. I mean, is there anything this guy does not have? He's going to be pushing this tier 1 tower, hitting really hard, and Sigma is hesitant to engage here, as Aki is even going to remove the nether ward. Oh, that's a big loss. And that's probably going to be the tower ensnare. Aki, he's actually going to die here.
By Ignite and Fire Blast, that should be more than enough to get the kill. As Illusory Orb's going to do a little bit of damage. Nice! Puck Ultimate getting the lock 2 down. Naga's going to be the first casualty of wars. EGM's getting locked down by Lifestealer, getting right-click to death. Funzy very low to dead, but oh, he does go down to the Puck. Is Puck going to be able to get out? Very short Illusory Orb. He's going to pick up the illusion just for fun, and then get right-click to death.
Yeah. Nice fight again here by Sigma. And
I'm sorry, he bought his Blink Dagger just before he died as well, so very nicely done.
This is important though for Sigma, because this game was falling apart, but the last 2 engages they've had have actually given them a really big... I wouldn't say it's given them an advantage, because they're still behind, but they got a lot of gold out of that. They were 3k gold behind, now they're 1k behind. The experience is still not looking too good, but at the very least they've got the level 6 on the Naga Siren at this point, and level 7 on Ogre, which means he can get that double Fire Blast proc, which is gonna one-shot the Coddle almost. He has 600 health points, and this is going to do 550 magical damage if it multicasts, so... Keeping up the aggression, Aki is going to get caught out here again. No way out of this one.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Even before the TP support is there, of course Puck has the blink, gets Fire Blasted, but will not be able to do a whole lot since there's not much backup, as the top tier tower, top tier 1 tower, will go down in favor of Alliance, but this mid tower is in quite a bit of peril as the Nether Blast being used on a Steel Creep instead of the tower, but either way, this should be a fallen tower, and it is, so they end up trading tier 1s. Really, Admiral Bulldog, pretty damn high level, level 11 now. Right now, Alliance has the top 3 levels in the game, and you're absolutely right when you're talking about the experience advantage. You're just seeing that in the hero levels. Going to Alliance's way, and their supports are still decently high level, of course. I mean, Vengeful Spirit, level 8. And was it Keeper? Yeah, Keeper level 7. That's actually more surprising than Vengeful Spirit, because Aki's the one that's getting all the kills, at least in the early stages.
Rotation for Venge in the mid lane where he killed together with S4. They got the kill on Pugna. That gives a lot of experience. 2 heroes killing the solo mid. It's definitely a big boost, so... Makes sense in the end, but you're right. Slark is level 11, but I'm really missing something from Bulldog. A little bit more activity from him.
He could swap him out of here. He's going to do that, but Infest follows. TP support from Nagi is going to pop the Song of Siren. Oh, not the grit. Okay, maybe they don't want to address. The Infest was used for pretty much no reason. We're going to end up having 2 fights. Ogre Magi is getting caught out. In the meantime, we're going to watch Naga getting completely destroyed. The ult from Puck again being used, this time defensively though. Slark somehow has made his way to the top lane. Gonna get Fire Blast. No! The Fog War again playing tricks on Ogre Magi. As there goes the Reality Rift, but the Rage is gonna be popped immediately for Nyx. And the chase is on Nether Blast, only gonna hit 1, but look at Darkseer just going in the midst of things with that Ion Shell, doing quite a bit of damage. As we're having another kill, this time Slark picking up a kill on Lifesteer, but that will cost him his life as a result. 2-for-1 exchange, and this fight perhaps is not over. Loda has pretty much full mana, could initiate if he wants to.
Behold!
You're right, that was really confusing from Sigma, because the Song of the Siren did set up nicely, but they didn't use the infest damage. He infested out beforehand, so they just wasted that. After all, it is a 150 AoE damage. It's pretty good, that they just didn't use there because he jumped out. So maybe a little bit of miscommunication about should we actually fight or should we just get out, and end up wasting that. But at the end of the day, it's a 2 for 2 in total, I think, because Matt died, but he respawns pretty fast with his level 6 Naga. But in that kind of extended fight, it's a little bit hard to keep track. But Sigma, again, if they trade evenly, I feel like they're winning from it. They have a lifestealer transitioning into the mid game who can become really strong, and then
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
as far as the supports go, they're getting more. The ogre getting high levels is really useful. It's a hero that's powerful with the levels, and the Pugna just needs time. What do you think about lifestealer going for an SNY here? It looks like he's going to do that with the ogre club.
Dire's bottom tower
this
is
game
under
is going to have
attack.
like 2 stages. Lifestealer is going to be strong in the earlier part of the mid game, and in the late game, Loda's going to crush him with Chaos Knight. Illusions just attacking him at the same time, Lifestealer is going to be toast. So is this the right choice? Because it kind of makes him peak at the right time, I think.
Oh, Loda is in so much trouble. The open wound, but he's gonna pop his ult. Is that gonna be enough for him to get away? I'm not sure if that's gonna be the case. But here comes the quadruple Dream Coil. Holy jeez, S4, you are a beast of burden, if I do say so myself. Loser Orb's only gonna hit one in this exchange. S4 kind of stuck in the forest here. Will be able to get out. Only losing one is Sigma. Well, I shouldn't say only. They should have killed Loda, but they weren't able to do so. 2 dead for Cement. Great turnaround overall for Alliance as the Loser Orb's barely gonna niche Lifestealer in the ass. And this is gonna be a dead Pugna, so 3 dead. Out of nowhere for Sigma. Good lord, man.
They just outnumbered them, and this kind of shows something I was meaning to talk about earlier, but I forgot. Darkseer's Iron Shell has kind of been the big player for Sigma so far. It's been doing the majority of their damage in the fights, that there's been an Iron Shell on the Lifestealer, or an Iron Shell on Ogre, or both, or one on Darkseer. And he wasn't there. He's the mech carrier, he's level 11, with level 2 wall, and they can't take these fights without him. It's just not possible. He's such a big part of their strength right now, that if Pass isn't there, Sigma shouldn't try, I think. Especially not next to a tier 1 tower against a Chaos Knight who has 2,000 health and his ultimate ready. It's gonna work for them. They need Pass there, and then they can try to take the fights.
As far as the SNY, that is in all likelihood going to be picked up by Lifestealer. As we see a Halberd, by the way. Well, it looks like he's going for first on Loda, which is probably a good choice, but has the Sange, in all likelihood, is not going SNY, and will probably pick up a Halberd at some point. Yeah, I'm kind of iffy on the SNY. I mean, it's great for move speed and all that stuff. He doesn't really, I mean, I guess the one huge benefit of this is being able to be a little bit more mobile, which in this game is probably more important than most, because he doesn't have a great to be able to infest into for a Nake's Bomb, which would be a great initiation possibility. I suppose it doesn't matter a whole lot if you're using the Song of Siren as an initiation tool, but I mean, we saw the miscommunication. I'm not exactly sure if that's going to continue this game, but either way, I don't love it, I don't hate it. It's just kind of meh, I guess, the SNY.
I'm wondering if he's going to consider a Halberd instead against the Slark as his choice. Also to get some evasion against the Chaos Knight. I think that might actually be a better choice than the mobility from Sanjin Yasha and the Maim, which I don't think they need, and I don't think it's going to benefit them that much. For now for Sigma, it's a question about gathering up and getting a big play from Darkseer. I think it's their chance. That means if he gets a good initiation off, it's going to enable Pugna a lot more, because the Nether Blast is going to hit better, and they're all going to be pulled in towards a spot closer to the Nether Ward. If they want to get out, they're going to have to pay health for it. You cannot get away from a puck without paying health, unless if you blink, because blink doesn't cost mana anymore, actually doesn't trigger the Nether Ward anymore.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Apart from that, Alliance are just looking stronger in this game. They're still not ahead by that much gold, but experience is still looking good for them, and Sigma need to be really careful not to get pucked out again this time.
Yeah, don't get pucked out. Absolutely. Oh, Slark might be thinking about initiating here. Has his Shadow Blade picked up. He's going to initiate onto Naga. I'm sure the song will follow very shortly. Fire Blast can't be used because the ultimate is popped by Slark. There's the multicap onto Loda. Of course, Dream Coil is up and ready to go. It's going to be only on the Naga. Probably a good choice. He's going to use Waning Rift to prevent the silence. I'm assuming he's going to go down and have more initiation here. Loda getting very, very low. No deaths yet. Somehow, some way,
maybe in trouble here.
Well, he has his phase shift and illusory orb, so I think he'll be fine, as he is just fine right now. And
the ward is down. I'm not sure if Sigma should be trying to fight this, but they are.
Fire Blast on BS. He's gonna swap, trying to get out, but no. It'll end up being a trade, as it looks like Naga and Darkseer are dead. For Sigma, the infest into Ogre, but of course, this is more of a get back at it. Oh my god, Fire Blast doing so much damage along with the infest. So I was gonna say the infest's not gonna be used too aggressively, but when the enemy comes to you, I suppose you can do it that way if you want. I would love to
Bulldog
see a Blink
underestimated
Dagger.
how much they could do there. I think he ran into the fog line, so he wasn't ready for the Ogre stun, so he didn't have Dark Pact precast. And because of that, he didn't break the stun, and then Lifestealer just destroyed him really quickly there, so... Oh, I have to say... Well, the graphs say differently. I still feel like these fights, Sigma got a draw there again, which to me is good enough for them for now, but they can't keep being satisfied with this. It's keeping them in the game, but Alliance are gaining more and more right now, and they know the position they're in, that in the late game they're going to have an advantage with the Chaos Knight and the Great Initiation from Puck and the Slark against a solo core Lifestealer. No one else in this game is getting farmed. The Naga will not be able to build a carry build this game. He's 0-8. He has a Bracer. It's not happening at 20 minutes, and Mad knows it as well. He's just buying whatever he can to contribute the most to the team at this point. So, Alliance are just relaxed about the situation, and Sigma need to make something happen, but at least the last two fights haven't been disastrous. It needs to go better from now on.
I believe Haas is going for a Shivas. Perhaps an Assault, but I kind of doubt that.
Shivas, it must be.
I was gonna say I would love to see a Blink on him or Ogre, but obviously Ogre's not getting a whole lot of farm right now. But I think a Blink Dagger would be really great. I mean, they do have the song, but depending on how they want to use it. I mean, obviously the Darkseer vacuum does not work on vulnerable units anymore, but you can kind of set it up. But again, they don't have a ton of AoE after that is a real issue. I mean, Infest being their main source of damage, which isn't, I mean, it's okay, but it's not the greatest, obviously. It's not a big team fight ultimate. I would love to see a little bit more mobility on Sigma to be able to infest bomb into somebody.
It's a good point, because the way the fights break out, it never really seems like Sigma are getting an initiation with Song of the Siren. They're holding on to it as a get out of jail free card that they haven't needed in the last two fights. But with the Blink Dagger and Darkseer, perhaps they can get some sort of a different type of initiation, and then it doesn't need to be for an infest bomb as such. It means that Miggle, for example, can initiate.
Tower is under attack.
Oh,
swap there.
He could have swapped.
He could initiate.
I think. Sorry, I think he was in range. He wanted to get the stun off. Could be wrong.
To me, it looked like, yeah. Well, the thing is, the swap has a little bit of a cast animation as well, and it was impossible to tell which one he was using there. But I'm assuming he was trying the swap because he knows that's faster than the stun, since it has no travel time but only the cast point.
Counts on Darkseer, and the Dream Coil is going to be used to stop the TP. Probably a good choice. And actually, now that you mention it, I should say only. He was level 8 so long ago. Only a level 1 ult still from VS, and I think that's the big thing to take note of, because level 2 ultimate is when his swap starts getting absolutely insane. So we're just going to be waiting for that.
I think I like to say that this is one of the best support ultimates in the game, and that kind of says a lot, because there are some amazing support ultimates. But the thing about this ability is, if there's one thing that's really important in top tier Dota, it's position. It's what is perhaps the main factor that separates the best teams from the good teams, is how good they are at positioning and executing the team fights. And when you're playing against a level 2 Nether Swap, the way the game usually goes for you and what you're used to being able to get away with, and your plans for initiation and everything, can suddenly completely get messed up by one click. Which not many other heroes can do. I mean, of course, you can throw a Dream Coil or something like that, which is a mini stun on you when you try to initiate. But the swap completely takes you in a different spot in a fight, and it is an amazing ability to have it.
Dire's top tower
one of the ultimates in the game
attack.
that gets the most improved per skill point. The cast range is huge for this ability. It really means the world.
Argue, and we say this about a lot. I say this about a lot of skills. Aghanim Scepter on her is
disgusting.
Well, actually, I wasn't gonna say that for once. Aghanim Scepter on her is a top 10. I think it's a top 10 axe. It is so good.
It is.
I'm a huge fan of Vengeful, though. I think
really
she would be
amazing.
played more if her range was, not the theory craft here, if her range was increased by 50, she'd be played all the time. 50 is all she needs. That's her biggest weakness right now.
Definitely not going to happen though, because
she'd be very
the way
strong.
Yeah, the way the game gets balanced around, and kind of the ideology that the beta testers and Ice Frog have for how to develop the game is that they keep the heroes unique in their way, and then they try to buff them on what makes them unique. And one of the things that makes Vengeful unique is her short range as a support, which needs to be kept, because if she gets high range, she's ridiculously good. It's the way that hero works. And if you buff every hero to get the same range, then it
Dire's middle tower is
inflates it
under
in a
attack.
sense. So here we go mid. Nice swap from EGM. Gonna keep Aki alive. It's gonna kill himself though, so I'm not sure that was a good idea.
Official Lamb at its best. Ends up sacrificing for nothing, really. They end up getting 2 kills, does Sigma.
2 kills there.
But Alliance
still thinking about
they're
it.
both him and Admiral Bulldog are both thinking about it. I mean, that's going balls deep if they end up doing this, because that's literally 2-on-5 as Loda is farming at bot lane. They're gonna go for Roshan, and I think they're gonna commit here. Of course, Dream Coil's up.
Backfire. They can't do it.
They're backing up immediately.
It takes them too long. They don't have a good Roshan killer. They don't have a medallion. They don't have any minus armor. Apart from that, and Lifestealer can't kill Roshan that fast alone because Feast doesn't work on him. So they have to give it up. Alliance's heroes are already back, and Roshan will be at like half health now, at the most. Or at the least, or whatever. Yeah, they would definitely not have been able to take that. So Doxker will go into the jungle. He did finish the SNY, so he did not go for a halberd build here. This isn't going to cut it. They need more, and it was good for Sigma to get those 2 kills, but when you look at the graphs, they didn't really do anything. It was 2 pickoffs on 2 supports, and meanwhile the cores were farming. So Alliance effectively didn't lose anything. And the problem for Sigma right now is that the small skirmishes they're winning are so small that they don't get a collateral. They don't win them close to the enemy's tower so they can take the tower. They don't have a good Roshan team, and they don't kill high priority targets. Loda now has a halberd and a BKB on the Chaos Knight. They cannot kill this hero. No way. And when he uses Phantasm, if there's cooldown on the Nether Blast, they can't kill the illusions either. Then Loda's gonna kill everyone. It was an amazing last pick for Alliance in this game, I want to point out, because they just saw an opening in the draft to get Chaos Knight, who generally struggles against AoE abilities that kill his Phantasm. If you don't have that, he's one of the best late gamers in the game. Loda's gonna get a shit on here.
But he pops his BKB. There's the song. Funzy thought about TPing out. I think he might have actually used it. Song. But actually, this is the great thing about having Song with the BKB from the other team. Like, actually gonna focus him. Loda almost going down. Finally giving a 1-for-1 trade, but there comes the Illusory Orb and waiting for a combination from S4 doing so much freaking damage. He's just cleaning up a nice swap, keeping Lifestealer in the midst of things. Ogre Magic, the last to survive for Sigma, so despite Alliance losing their carry, they will clean up completely and probably take this tier 2, if not Roche.
It's the first good Song of the Siren we saw in this game, I feel. It was the first time they really used it for something. It's just too late. It's 27 minutes in, and you can't say they've had amazing opportunities to use it where they just didn't. But at this point, when they counter Loda out like that, it was a good choice for Matt. It's what Sigma had to do, but the deficit's too big. You saw they couldn't even kill the Chaos Knight before the song ended. That's a full 7 seconds that they were just pretty much banging on him the longer he had. Lifestealer does not have damage. He went for an SNY mobility build with drums. He doesn't hit Arden. They need something bigger. They need an Abyssal or some other sort of damage like a Desolator to really bring down this Chaos Knight.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Killed Loda there before the song ended, then maybe they could have taken that fight because they needed to commit to him another 2 seconds, and that allowed Alliance to get off all their abilities beautifully there in the tournament.
Gonna get ensnared and stunned, but here it comes. Okay, I thought Admiral Bulldog was actually going to win, but they're just gonna leave Vengeful Spirit to die. In all likelihood, a good choice, and actually Ake might be following suit as well. Pops his... That was actually his ultimate. That is a dead Ake, to say the least.
It's a waste of 135 gold trying to TP there, but...
Is that a TP? Okay, that was fine.
He actually tried to port out. That was not going to happen. There were too many stuns nearby. Sigma again, they're going to try to initiate on Roshan. Alliance are not going to let them. Loda's already crossing from the top lane. S4 is in position. Bulldog needs to get out of vision range so he can heal up to full, and then Alliance can take them 3-on-4 or 3-on-5 right here with the perfect initiation. Loda has the BKB, does not have Phantasm, but he doesn't need it. The way Sigma are clumped up, S4 could almost solo them here if he goes in.
Remember, he has the sheep stick, has the double damage. Sigma's gonna back up a bit here, and I think they're gonna abandon this Roshan. Probably a good choice again. Fortunately, because Alliance could just take this easily now, and they're gonna look to do that with Clark soloing it for now. I say it. Roshan's probably yeah. There's a DD from Puck gonna help him out.
Must know this is happening. No, they don't. They're going back. Oh my god, they basically just helped Alliance do Roshan.
That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I mean, that's not going to put yourself in a very good position, because Alliance is one fight away from Raxing, if not GGing this, and the Aegis is going to help quite a bit. So you put on Chaos Knight, so he's that much more tanky. Has the Bracer, so is he actually... Did he pick this up after the BKB Halberd, or did he have this the whole time? Is he going to finish the drums? There's the Blink Dagger on Darkseid. Probably a little too late, but you never know. They have a great initiation possibility.
Seems like the story for Sigma this game, too late, is a really good way of explaining it, because Their laning stage was okay, then
Dire's
they
middle
lost the
tower
lanes,
is
and their
under
rotations
attack.
and their adaptation in the game was just too late, and then when they start getting their good fights, it's just too late. So they missed their timing window, is another way of saying it, I guess, because Alliance are just reaching the point in the game now when their lineup is flat out stronger. They need an amazing vacuum wall combination with Nether Blast and Nether Ward as a big part of it, and a strong Ignite, else they do not have the damage to bring down Alliance's heroes. And the problem for them is, Loda can just lead the charge now. He has an Aegis and 2400 health. Okay. If Sigma initiate on him, it's gonna backfire really heavily. They're actually gonna do it, but they won't commit, because they know it. Oh, actually they will!
Vacuum into the wall. You're seeing the Blink Dagger come into effect. The Aegis is going to be used immediately. Didn't mention that Slark picked up a Scotty before this fight. That's going to help him quite a bit, but Sigma's going to hold for now, and either Alliance is going to back up or just wait for the wall to dissipate.
Surprisingly quickly there, actually, but now what Alliance can do is that they can wait for the wall to expire. Okay, they don't care. Bulldog is manning up. Wait for the wall. They're not going to commit. Bulldog was just peeking inside, and there the wall was countering. So they use Aegis, and here we go.
Reality Rift, Chaos Bolt initiation. BKB popped, right-clicking away on Lifesteal, but Loda's the one actually being in trouble. Song being used, and they can focus him as a result of this. Is he going to be able to do enough damage? He actually gets Song in the middle of that. But either way, he's going to go down. Lifesteal's going to fall away. Good Lord, Sigma is falling so fast thanks to Slarks, thanks to S4. And this should be a GG.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They couldn't have done that better. That was the perfect fight for Sigma, I think. They got the Aegis at the cost of only the wall, and then they killed Loda again with the Song of Siren. That was very well done. The difference in gold and experience now was just too big. If this kind of fight happens 10 minutes ago, they could wipe Alliance, because then Iron Shell would be a lot stronger, S4 would not have the Hex yet, Bulldog wouldn't have his Scotty. There were just too many items on Alliance there in the end, and yeah, my conclusion is still